Welcome back to Keep It on the DL podcast. As always, I'm Daria.
And I'm Liv. Why'd you go that far to the camera? I'm
Everybody
Daria.
can see the pimple on my chin.
I know. This is honestly our mistake for even doing video at this point. Our mistake. We should have never done it.
You're the one that begged. Beg,
You
pleaded.
beg. On my knees, wee lad. I don't care. I think that it's going to get us more views. Honestly, our clips have been popping off on the talk. So, I mean, it's probably going to get banned soon, but fuck it. We ball anyway. Who cares? Instagram feeds. I've always been your number one fan. That was a lie. I hate Instagram reels, but if you want to see someone beheaded or a kitten full of you know, it's just like you never know what you're going to find on Instagram reels. So,
That's true.
if you know,
I do
but
like Instagram Reels because you can watch them while you're listening to a podcast. Say, keep it on the DL. You can keep us going while you're watching a video at the same time.
I genuinely did not know that, but now I
That's
do.
why I prefer
That's kind of
Instagram.
convenient.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 2-in-1 shampoo.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Most people might
I
find
didn't know you
it
could do that.
overstimulating, but not me. I
Nah.
like it.
Nah, I have like 3 receptors in my brain, like one for eating, one for listening, and one for like phone activity, and I can do all 3 at the same time, no problemo.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
how was your week?
Yeah, I guess like first of all, thanks for being patient with us cuz we're a little late this week. Um
Yeah.
I could feel it in my bones like Friday-ish that I was going to get a sinus infection. Like I felt it coming. I felt a little
Yep.
twinge in my throat.
Mhm.
I went to bed Friday night and I could just feel the drainage and I was like, yep, it's happening. And by Sunday
Mhm.
I was at full blown like sinus infection, sore throat, clogged ears, clogged nose,
Yep.
all of it.
Yep.
Um so yeah, I've been kind of dealing with that. I feel a little better today, but it's still I can feel it. Hopefully by the end of the week I'll be
Yeah.
back to normal.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Um, how was my week, Liv? My
I thought you were
week
just gonna go.
went my so you're an Owala girly. Friend of the pod, Sam, she just became an Owala girly, and now that's all she talks about. It's like, I love how you kissed Stanley's ass 6 fucking months ago, but now all of a sudden you're an Owala girly.
Only
Love her to
have an
death, but
Owala
like
because of
she
her.
only hops on the trends.
No, yeah, I got an Owala before my Stanley, but I only have one because of her, because you said that she thought it was going to be the next big water bottle and it was
Hmm.
cheaper than a Stanley, so I bought one.
I don't hate it though. I took a sip out of it myself the other day. I don't know if I like the straw mechanism. I feel like I can't put a full lip on there, if you know what I mean. Get a good grip.
Sure.
The like trying to I feel like I suck in too much air when I'm trying to anyway, my week went how did my week go? God dang, feels like last Monday was forever ago.
Yep.
I'm gonna say it went okay because I genuinely can't remember what I did. It went fine. I will say that I also, but it just started maybe yesterday. I feel an ear infection coming. So,
Mm,
my ears are currently hurting me. When I get like ear infections, I also kind of get like back of the head headaches. I don't know if anybody goes through that too. I think it's just because your ears are draining. I don't know what it is.
yeah.
Anyway, I can like feel the mucus like go down my throat, but my nose isn't stuffy. It's just my ears. Speaking of ears, if you guys are watching, I got new headphones. Well, they're not new. They're like Beats that were cool like in like 6th grade. That I forgot that I had for years. Um, I bought them off my sister for $200, even though she probably could have pried 4 out of me.
Ooh.
I really stole those from her. And anyway, yeah, so I've been kind of on the sick side too, but genuinely it's just because this Missouri weather has continuously punched us in the face for probably the last 3 weeks. The pollen has been super fucking high. And we've been having good days, but then it'll storm, and then there's
I
tornadoes,
was
and
gonna
then we'll
say,
have
I
hot
feel like the
days, and then
sirens go off like 3 times a week.
at this point we just go out and watch it.
Yeah.
Like, please take us. Take me away. Throw me in Chicago or fucking New York, please. Throw me in West Virginia at this point. Like, fuck, somewhere else. Um, so yeah, that's how my week went. Nothing crazy. I will say the audio sounds crisp through these headphones.
I like an over the
Um,
ear, except mine are
it's
just,
pretty
like,
good.
$10 from Target headphones, but over the ear is where it's
And these
at.
are 87 years old. So I feel like we're kind of at the same pace regardless. Um, So anyway, yeah, so that's how my week's going too. It looks like we're just two sick girlies. Speaking of sick girlies, I we were gonna film the pod yesterday. I took my cat to the vet. Her left eye was watering super bad. And so here's my mistake. Here's where I fucked up. So I called. Granted, I've had this cat since she was a kitten, right? I got her when she was about probably a year old from a friend that was pregnant at the time and she didn't want to take care of a cat, whatever. Anyway, she's my child now and she's never been to the vet because she was fully updated on her shots. So her eye started watering really bad. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Well, then it started watering more and more and more to the point where she was like closing one eye. So I wasn't necessarily freaking out. So I called the vet real quick,
Yeah.
right? At 6 p.m. They close at 8. And I just called and I said, "Hey, my cat, she's like watering from her left eye. I was wondering if I could set an appointment." And this lady pauses, takes a deep breath, and goes, "You should definitely take her to the 24/7 vet office. It could be anything. She could be losing her sight. She could go blind. She could die." And I'm like, "Oh my God. I didn't know that." Who knew, right? I was just thinking maybe she like played too hard because she's always playing WWE with the other cats, like, so here I am thinking that I let this cat go with a watery eye for 2 days and she's gonna have to come home with an eye patch. So I go and I take her to this emergency vet. Everything's good, everything's fine. Turns out nothing fucking wrong with her. She's just fine today. Her happy little fat ass is walking around dry as a fucking desert, no watery eye in sight. She cost me $300 because the lady at the other vet convinced me that she was dying. So, honestly, I always forget how expensive being a pet owner is until you
Yeah.
have to go to the vet.
Yeah.
Like, rarely I'm like, "Oh, it's fine." Like, it's like food and water and that. No, the vet?
Right.
Yeah, jail. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's, like, always
mm,
fine until, like, it isn't, and then you're like, "Oh, no, I need to take you to the vet," and then they convince you to, like, do all this extra testing that you don't really need to do, and then they're like, "Oh, she's fine," and then you're
yeah,
just like,
I
"Ugh."
just I hate it, and they told me they had came back, and I told you this earlier. They came back and they go, "Well," so she was not the happiest kitty there, and the vet's like, "Well, we did have to sedate her twice." And the first thing I thought of, I looked at her right in the face and I said, "You're not going to charge me for the second one, though, right? Because, bitch." I know that they'd try to do that. I know that they would try to charge me for double sedations. I can't help that my cat's a badass. Okay, I don't like but help me out here, right? Like,
Right, I feel like when you
shit.
go to the hospital, if you wake up during your surgery, you don't get charged for them to put you out again because they did it wrong in the
That's
first
right.
place.
Thank you. Thank you. So, turns out she did not double charge me for sedation, but that was, like, genuinely the first thing I thought because 'cause I'm like, bills due, rent due, baby shark, do, 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 do. Everything's fucking due, and then all of a sudden, my cat convinces me that she's going to lose her eye overnight. So, I just want to make sure that $40 sedation didn't get tagged twice on mommy's bill because I'm not doing it. I'll put her down myself. Like I will hold her down by her head. I will hold her while you check everything else, right?
Right.
Whatever. Put me in the battlefield. I don't care. You're not charging me for a second sedation. Okay. I'll knock her out myself.
I got just
um
the thing for her.
so yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and get into these topics here. It
I
is
will say,
currently
yeah,
very late,
it's late. It's
so
like past my bedtime. I will say,
sorry.
we did get a comment on our Instagram. Somebody
Oh my
listened.
god.
Um,
Oh my god. Sorry. I'm really excited.
you're not
Okay,
gonna
okay,
be as
okay.
excited when I finish this.
Oh.
So,
Oh no. Okay.
Blair, shout out Blair. She was my RA my freshman year of college in the dorms.
Okay.
She commented and she said, as requested, I'm commenting because I want to know what your favorite memory was with your favorite RA. And I told her I would answer it on the pod.
Okay.
So, my favorite memory,
Love it.
besides all of the times that she caught us drinking in the dorms, my favorite memory is we were all hanging out in my room and she got up to go and she was like, I need to go study. I need my, I don't know, my couch and my Tupac, and I just need to go study. And this other girl that was in there goes, what's a Tupac? And we all just look at her and we're like, did you just ask what a Tupac was? And she's like, yeah.
Oh my
And we're like,
god.
oh, honey. Oh, honey.
Oh,
So,
girl.
I think that's one
No,
of my
she
standout memories.
needs her couch and a 2 pack of Marlboro Lights to get through the test. So, she needs 2 packs of Marlboro
Tupacs.
Lights.
And
That is
coincidentally, we
so
will be
funny.
talking about Tupac later. So, it was a great memory to tie into this
Oh, yeah.
episode.
That's funny. I obviously I don't think I ever told you guys. I've never went to college, but I've always wanted to live the college experience. I will say, shout out to RAs because I feel like you guys don't really get to live the college experience because you guys have to be fuddy-duddies. Peace and love. I'm just saying, but I guess at the end of the day it's worth it, right? Cuz they pay like a portion of your schooling, I guess. But
I think they pay like room and
maybe?
board. I don't know. Blair, let us know in the comments. What did
Okay.
you get for being an RA? Please
Yep.
let us know. 'Cause besides a bigger room.
Yeah. Also,
But
have recruit other people to comment down below on
yeah,
the
yeah, if you want to
our
get
post.
Erica to
Yeah, thank you.
comment, which is her sister that was my roommate sophomore year, if she wants to comment below. Um, but yeah, let's get into these topics cuz like Liv said, it's pretty late, past my bedtime,
Okay.
really. But we had busy schedules, so and we didn't want to leave you guys hanging. And
Nope.
we had issues connecting, so you're
She
lucky we
also had to
didn't give
tap
up,
dance.
honestly. Yeah, I had tap tonight.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay. So we had talked about this a while back. Our first honorable mention is Universal Music Group is putting all of its music back on TikTok. So hooray, we'll get all the music we know and love back on TikTok. So congratulations to you TikTokers. You did it, Joe. Oh, you're frozen.
Amazing.
Wait, are you still there?
Yeah, but it's like it's I think oh my god. Is it back?
Yeah, you're back now.
We're so back. Anyway, this fight everything. You guys are so oh wait, it says uploading paused. Is it still paused?
Oh,
Or are we
no.
still going? Oh wait, maybe the uploading is pause. Okay, okay, it's going. It's going.
Okay, okay.
Sorry, we're back. We're back. What were we talking about? Fuck. Oh,
Universal
TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Also, like, it still has a good chance of like getting banned. So I don't know. Like, congrats, you have your music back, but also like, meh, it's
For
probably
how long?
meh. Right. Uh, but I guess that's exciting. But that's why it's an honorable mention, folks. I think we're gonna quickly move past that.
Yeah. Second honorable mention, follow I'm just trying to follow up on the stuff we always say, like, if there's any more updates, we'll let you know, and then we never circle back to them. I'm trying to do better at that. I'm doing better. But our next honorable mention is we talked about the documentary Quiet on Set a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Dan Schneider is suing the producers of that documentary for defamation. Um, Not sure how that's gonna go, but
Yeah, but
okay.
like, do you think they'll actually win it?
Who, Dan Schneider? I don't think he'll win.
Yeah. No.
I feel like also
Also,
when you're like a
who
public
cares?
figure, the bar is like really high for defamation. So I mean, they are saying like, some
Mhm.
pretty salacious stuff, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's a he said, she said. So I don't think it'll go anywhere personally.
No. No. I mean, honestly, most of America and like half of the world hates him now. So I just like I don't even know why you're trying girly pop, to be honest. It's just like I don't know. But yeah, he's just like a scumbag. I don't know. It's probably nothing's ever gonna come of it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I will say that documentary rocked millions of people's worlds. I will say I thought it was gonna be a documentary that just like people are gonna be like, yeah, did you see that? Did you ever watch that documentary about Nickelodeon? No, it blew the fuck up. I saw it like a couple weeks before it blew up. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll get around to it. Next thing I know, it's like, boom, Dan Schneider, boom, Feet, boom, iCarly, boom, fucking Spence. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, and I will say I also saw it did get some backlash from some of the people that were in it actually, that said that when they were doing the interviews and when they agreed to do it, like they had no idea what kind of documentary it was going to be. Like they weren't really told what the premise of the documentary was going to be. Like it was they just kind of went in blind. So they
Right.
weren't super happy about how they were portrayed some people. So I feel for that. Not to like
Right.
victim blame or anything, but I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a risk you take if you don't know what you're going into, like, because it can be used kind of however they want to use it. But I don't know. I feel bad if that's not what they thought they were getting
Yeah.
themselves into.
Yeah. They were like, no, this is it's like a gum commercial. Like a, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know what they would have told them. That's kind
Right.
of interesting. I wonder. I mean, let's be honest. Hollywood is fucking full of like fakes and liars. So of course they probably came up with this like interesting sort of like topic to talk about, or like some bullshit fucking story they made up, and now they want to twist it into something that it's not. Which that sucks. But uh, you know,
Yeah.
you live, you learn.
Living.
Um. All right, here we go. So, this was a funny topic that I ran into. I'm trying to remember. uh, uh, give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm like,
It was on Wednesday.
I am okay. So We love her. We live for her. Melissa McCarthy. If you don't know who Melissa McCarthy is, Melissa McCarthy is like the funny one off what is it? Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids, yeah.
She is the funny one off of what's the movie with her and Sandra Bullock?
Oh, The Heat.
The Heat. I mean,
She
funny
was
fucking actor, I
Ursula
will
in the
say. Like
new Little Mermaid, I believe. Wasn't she? I think. I didn't see it.
he I believe yes, I believe she was. So so Melissa McCarthy, obviously I think we all know her as like a
Plus size?
bigger
Yeah.
actress,
Yeah.
plus size, sorry. So you know, obviously, apparently she's been like losing a lot of weight.
She looks great.
Um and so Barbara Streisand, which how old is she now? Like 174. Uh I don't know. I really don't know. Uh So, so Melissa, okay, I don't know how
I
old
love
she
it.
is. How old
She's
is she? She's like
82.
old,
She's
right? She's like in
82.
her 80s.
82.
Okay, thank you. So, so Melissa posted on Instagram, her and somebody else, I don't know this guy's name. She said pastels only to honor the incredible Matthew Bourne at the CTGLA gala last night with this fella, Adam Shinkman, this much closer to my dream of dancing on stage. Okay, and cute picture, right? I think that's
Cute,
a Louis
yeah.
Vuitton, a very expensive Louis Vuitton bag she's holding. And so Miss Barbara, she comments under this post and she says, "Give him my regards. Did you take Ozempic?" Why the fuck? Barbara! Barbara. Come on.
Obviously, this got some traction,
Oh,
which I think is funny that this got so much traction because, like, the Streisand effect. Like, I feel like this was like fully the Streisand effect, and it was with actual Barbara Streisand. So I guess if you
yeah.
guys don't know,
Yeah.
the Streisand effect is like when people try to like cover stuff up and it actually draws more attention to it. Cause I guess like way back in the day, they
Yeah.
posted like a picture of her house and she like fought so hard to like take it down from everywhere, but it actually just caused more attention on the picture. So now people call it the Streisand effect. Little nugget of info.
Well, she Streisand herself
Yeah.
yet
Yeah.
again. I just think it's hilarious that she just asked her in the comments, "Did you take Ozempic?" Uh-oh. Which I know obviously Ozempic is a hot topic here, not only in the regular world, but definitely in the Hollywood industry as well, I would
Yeah.
say. So whether she did or not, Barbie, come on now. So she had posted, I believe on her Instagram, on her story, she retracted and she said, OMG. I went on Instagram to see the photos we'd posted of the beautiful flowers I'd received for my birthday. Below them was a photo of my friend Melissa McCarthy, who I sang with on my encore album. She looked fantastic. I just wanted to pay her a compliment. I forgot the world is reading. Yes, mama, the world is reading when you comment under a actress's Instagram post.
Right. That
My
wasn't the
God.
Finsta.
Maybe a text?
Maybe a DM.
Yeah.
Maybe a DM. Just, hey girl, you want
I mean,
Ozempic? You look
she was on
great.
your album.
Right, right.
For real. I mean, I feel like Melissa would give her the secrets if
Right.
she didn't post that publicly on honestly I find it more humorous than like, oh my god, I can't believe she did that. I
Yeah,
just think
for
it's
sure.
fucking funny that Barbara Streisand was like, cute pic, Ozempic question mark.
Right. Honestly, like, I find it hilarious too. Like, I don't find it, like, offensive or, like, I don't know, whatever. I just think it's funny that she would comment that, like, at all, or
No.
even, like, if she did DM her, like, "Cute picture. Are you taking Ozempic?" Like, I don't it's just, like, a weird thing.
I just it's crazy. So then I believe the world was quiet for about a day, and then Melissa made another Instagram post, and it was like a reel of her holding up a magazine. I think it's a magazine of Barbara. And she like pulls the magazine down and she's like something about Barbara complimented me today, like I win or
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that, and put it back up. So obviously there's no bad blood between it.
Yeah.
So she's not upset that Barbara asked if she was on Ozempic, but it definitely was quite the like mama response because I feel like old people like always comment the most absurd shit, like acting like they're not on a social media platform. They're like, I don't know. It's just
I
like,
feel like it was very, Kathy Hilton,
so
Paris Hilton's mom, like, she'll comment on stuff, she'll be like, "Hey, can you call me? Hey, Rick says hi. Hi, I tried to come by the other day."
right.
Like, she's just constantly commenting on
It's like,
people's pictures, like
yeah, I mean, maybe if you were like a regular citizen, but not a whole like celebrity,
right?
I mean,
Not in the public
I don't know.
comments, like, you're
So,
not even on the Finsta
yeah.
account, you know? Like,
Yeah. I guess also just like shout out to Melissa McCarthy anyway. You look good, Queen.
she
You
does
looked
look
good before Queen, but you
fantastic.
look great, Queen.
Yeah, I will
Yes.
say, looked great.
Um So running back to another small honorable mention, we got some Tana Mojo beef.
Oh,
So Tana Mojo made this viral video the other day of she went to some store and the owner she said that like the owner had like taken her hand. It was like holding her like card like in the transaction thing or this and this, and she like went on a whole rant about it. And if you guys don't know who Tana Mojo is, you live under a fucking rock, but she's just kind of like a natural born shit starter, I guess. I love her to death. She's great,
yeah.
but she's always complaining about something or something that happened to her or
Yeah, I
whatever.
feel like the last big thing
Um,
was, like, that wine tour she went on that was booked
God.
incorrectly.
Yes. And not to mention she's still friends with fucking James Charles. Honestly, Tana, love you, but get a fucking life. I like get a life. Anybody who still fucks with James Charles is crazy and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Agree.
But whatever. So I digress. And so basically this video that she had posted, the lady of the store stitched the video. This lady is a solid probably like 65 years old. And God bless her, she was like, I did not take the card out of your hand. I never, you said you didn't want to pay that much. Like, so, and it obviously, I think you could tell that maybe it was her son's account, but I
Right.
think the fact that maybe he was in the store or maybe she was like, "Oh my god, this blonde girl today like had a total meltdown in my store." And he was like, "Oh my god, was that fucking Tana Mojo?" So, I think maybe he had just like let his mom have the
Right,
platform
he's
to
like,
say it, but
"Let
I
me
just thought that was
help." Yeah,
so funny. Yeah. Like store lady was standing on fucking 10 toes of business. She was not fucking having it. She was ready to stitch that motherfucker real quick, to let people know the truth. So I just thought that was kind of funny. Like this old lady. I mean, lots of old ladies are outing people this week. I don't know what the
right.
fuck's going on.
Well, at least the store owner got her son, somebody that knows how to use TikTok, and helped her. Barbara Streisand was on her
Right.
own.
Absolutely.
Where are
Yeah,
the
her publicist needs to
grandkids?
take over her phone.
Right.
Right. Correct.
Does she have grandkids? Is
Um
she married?
and then who, Barbara?
Yeah. Yeah, she's
I'm pretty
married.
sure. Oh, wait, maybe that's Cher. I was like, isn't she married to a guy like 3 times her age, but or 40 years younger than her? Well, maybe that's Cher.
Yeah, I think
Um,
Cher dates that young guy.
yeah. I mean, Cher did say all the guys her age are dead. So I mean, peace up,
Can't
Queen.
argue with
I
that
respect.
logic.
uh.
Is
Anyway,
it
speaking
time?
of arguing, I
I
guess.
was gonna say, is it time to get into the biggest beef of the year so far?
Yeah, this is some pretty good beef, I will say. Extremely like medium rare, I think, and like
Yeah,
really good. It's a really good cut of meat this year, cut of beef. So,
perfection.
yes. Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay. I will say I don't know how much you've researched or I mean, I've researched. I haven't really taken comprehensive notes. I've just been like, you know what kind of podcast this is. I'm not, you know. So, if you
Yeah,
really
right.
want like a real true full comprehensive like breakdown, just take to the internet. We're just going to give you like what we got off the dome, you know.
Until we can start paying people to do the fucking research, we're going to do as much as we want.
And
Okay?
like we said, we
All
both
right.
are sick this week. We didn't have time. I haven't
Right.
slept properly in like 3 days. So,
I don't know who the fuck you think you are if you thought you were going to get actual facts on this podcast, but you should just be here for the morale at this point, like just the aftertaste is the pop culture. So,
yeah, we're here to give you
uh
nuggets and then if you
yeah.
want to really feast, you go deep dive on your own, you know.
Right. Yeah, if you want to mukbang, you got to go somewhere. You got to go to another drive-through, bitch. So,
Okay,
um
so in case you live under a rock and have no idea what we're referring to, we are referring to the
right.
Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, also featuring J. Cole and Metro Boomin.
Ooh.
Um, so last year, last year, J. Cole and Drake released a song called First Person Shooter. Well, okay,
Mhm.
let's actually start a little further back. Kendrick and Drake used to be good. Like they have songs together, Poetic Justice. They were both on ASAP Rocky's song, Fucking Problems. Like they were cool. Somewhere in the last few years they have had beef, but I don't really pay too much attention. Um
Yeah.
yeah, I guess they've kind of just taken little jabs. I don't know. But J. Cole and Drake released a song last year called First Person Shooter. In that song, J. Cole has a
Mhm.
line where he talks about the big three of rap. So, like, who is the big three? And he says that it's Aubrey, K Dot, and him. So, K Dot is Kendrick Lamar, which
Mhm.
I did not know that was his nickname. No clue.
I didn't either.
I was like,
Where does
since
the dot
when?
come from?
I know. I guess
Right.
I'm not like a huge Kendrick fan, but I do respect that he's a very
Right.
talented rapper. That I can respect.
Correct.
Um
Right.
so that song comes out, all is well. Then there is a song called Like That by why can't I think of the names? Ooh. Why am I
You want
blanking?
me to Google it?
Yeah, Google it.
Got it. Right here.
Future.
Like
Future
that.
and
Future.
yeah,
Metro Boomin.
Boomin. Yeah, okay.
And
So it's a
Kendrick.
Metro Boomin song
Yep.
featuring Future and K Dot, Kendrick Lamar. Um
Metro. Sorry.
in this song, Kendrick basically says there's no big three. It's just me. which is a direct jab at J.
Mm.
Cole's line in First Person Shooter. Um, so he then J. Cole releases a song called 7 Minute Drill, in which he basically just like calls out Kendrick Lamar, says he's old news, he's old and tired like The Simpsons. He
Oh
puts
shit.
he
Oh
puts
shit.
he had his first shit was classic, your last shit is tragic. And now you're trailing behind me. He then
Uh,
quickly was like, oopsie, like I take that back. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry, Kendrick Lamar. Please, please be nice.
well, also, you know, who the fuck is J. Cole's biggest fan? Bitch, where have you been? First of
I
all,
like J. Cole.
the fuck?
Actually, I do genuinely like J. Cole.
Hasn't he been relevant for a long fucking time?
Yeah, he has been.
Right. I don't know. But like, would you say you're J. Cole's biggest
Oh, no, no,
fan?
no, no. I wouldn't say
Okay.
that.
Right.
But like
Yeah,
when
I feel like there's I I just feel like there's certain artists where you can't just be like, those are my favorite artists. Because people are gonna be like saying like, oh my god, Sean Kingston's biggest fucking fan. Fire on the dance floor, literal fire.
Body
It's
by
something you just can't say.
the
On the
oh,
dance
yeah,
floor,
oh.
shawty. We never said we were good singers. Anyway, so it's just like I feel like there's certain artists. So J. Cole is like one of those artists for me where you can't be like, I love JC, love him to death. But he's like cool. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
I feel like I
Go ahead.
don't really seek him out, but I
Right,
do like his songs. And like when him and Drake were on tour, I was like, "Oh, I would go cuz I like both of them." But
right.
you know, definitely not biggest fan.
But
Um
so J. Cole said, sorry, no beef, please.
yeah.
I actually picked it.
He said,
Right.
"I am actually going to dismiss myself from this narrative." And fans were like really clowning him. They were like, "LOL, like you really dissed him and then walked that right back."
Right. You really said JK, huh?
Yeah. They would be
Okay.
applauding him later for doing this.
Right.
Drake then releases a song called Push Ups where he disses
Oh.
he disses Kendrick's height and talent. He
And
also says that um well, also the cover art for Push Ups was like a shoe, like the inside of a shoe where it says like the size and like US, UK, European.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
he says that Kendrick Lamar wears size 7 shoes, and the cover art is that little shoe thing with size 7.
Which, as we keep getting into the beef, the cover photos keep getting better and fucking better,
Thank
right? Because
you.
I have some shit
Yeah,
with some
jump
of
in
the
if
other
you
cover
have
photos.
anything. Um,
Oh, I no, you're doing great.
okay.
This is,
Yeah, so
so
he
yeah. I mean,
also
push-ups was mid at
yeah,
best.
yeah, and he
I
also
like
says
it just
that
wasn't good.
yeah, he's like, "You're also not part of the big 3, because you do collaborations with people like Maroon 5 and Taylor Swift." He also took some digs at, like, The Weeknd and I think Rick Ross. Um,
Right.
he had a lot to get off his chest, but he's like, "Yeah, you
Well,
claim to be so pro-black and you'll go wherever you can make money."
right.
Um,
He's just I don't
yeah,
know.
he then
He's a little goofy to me.
yeah, okay, so that's also the thing is I feel like Drake is notoriously corny. Like we all just know
Yeah.
he's corny. So
Uh,
Also, every time
what
he
does
gets in these beefs, I think about this line from Successful, which I think was on the So Far Gone album. I don't know, one of his first albums. But he says,
right.
"Diss me, you'll never hear a reply from it." Yet here we are constantly like dropping diss tracks. I think about it every single time.
And I won't even try to say that it's just because he's trying to stay relevant. I will say he has had huge success
Yeah,
in his tour last year.
yeah.
Uh, so I give me my cube. My cat was playing with my cube. Uh, yeah, I will say like he's not trying to like make himself so relevant. He's definitely been
Relevant.
very successful.
Yeah.
A lot of people are Drake fans,
Yeah, I
but
would say I
you
am, probably.
if you truly say that he cooked after this,
Yeah, I don't know
then
what
you're
to tell you.
fucking
I
crazy.
don't know what
Like,
to tell you.
I don't care how much you're in the kitchen, bitch. He did not fucking cook. He did not cook.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I feel like that's the thing, like, I feel like Drake is wildly successful, like, there's no denying that, but I don't think
correct.
again, he's notoriously corny, so I don't think people are like, "Oh, yeah," like, he just, like, makes good club songs, you know? Like, you could
Correct.
dance to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So after Push-Ups, he then released Taylor Made, Taylor Taylor, like Taylor Swift,
Uh huh.
where he basically says like, yeah, Kendrick hasn't released a diss track yet because he's too worried that the Tortured Poets Department is gonna outshine him and he's gonna get buried. Um, so
Um, and I also want to point out, I believe that I think it is said allegedly that Kendrick and Taylor Swift have the same record label or the same agent, I believe.
Yeah, they have a same
Yeah,
producer, which
producer,
Jack
sorry.
Antonoff, who did produce one of Kendrick's diss tracks. We'll get to that one.
Okay,
Um,
perfect.
Also on
You're doing
Tailor
great.
Made, he Drake used AI generated voices of
Oh,
Tupac
oh
and Snoop
yeah,
Dogg. Mostly because they're both West Coast rappers. Kendrick is from
right,
Compton, so base it's so weird. He does like an AI voice for again Tupac and Snoop, just basically
right.
saying like you're trash, like you don't represent the West Coast.
Okay.
Which is weird because Snoop Dogg is still alive. Like you could have just asked him to hop on your track if you really
Right.
wanted.
He was scared.
Yeah,
He was like a kid that like like knocks on his parents'
yeah.
door like at 3 a.m. and you're like, I
I
threw
throwed up.
up. Like he's afraid. He's like, I throwed up. And they're like, what? Instead of just like going in and being like, I throwed up, bitch. Like he just he's like sitting there, his hands behind his back, and
Yeah.
he's moving his like the top of his foot, and he's like, Mr. Snoopy,
Do you want to
um,
hop on my diss track?
do you want to help me this time, please? And so, um, yeah, cringe. Anyway, sorry about that.
Yeah, super cringe. Tupac's estate did send Drake a cease and desist, so Drake had to take it down. Also Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg like hopped on his Instagram stories, I think, and he's like basically like, what like what? Why I'm not involved. I didn't say anything.
yeah. And I will say, I was thinking about this today because I was watching another podcast that was talking about it. I will say, and they didn't even bring this up. This is my own mental honestly really fucking cringe at the like you didn't even double check with like anyone, like you didn't even double check with any of Tupac's estate, like you didn't check any of that before, because now you just look 10 times goofier
Right.
having to take down your diss track because you nor your producer nor your managers nor your publicist, nobody did the research,
Nobody got
so now
like
you
a
just look stupid.
yeah, now you got to take it off.
Yeah, it's like it's like in school, it's like one of those like, "Ooh." Everybody's like, "Ooh, shit.
Ooh, yeah. It's like when the
Ooh."
teacher
Yeah,
calls you
so
up, or like, "Can I Drake to the
yeah.
front," and you're like, "Ooh."
Aubrey?
Yeah. "Aubrey, get up here. Aubrey to the principal's office."
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
just the nurse is like, "Aubrey, did you throw up again?" So yeah, I think that's so super cringe. Like you couldn't have backed that up at all. You couldn't have like was the estate not getting to you like early enough in email or like what the cuz he's like I bet he was like him and his producers are like going like 3 times speed. They're like, "Come on, we got to get this shit out right now cuz we fucking, you know."
Yeah.
So,
Cringe. Very cringe.
yes.
In the song he
Yes.
does he's like, "Shout out Taylor Swift, you're the biggest gangster in the music game," which I guess is probably true.
Right.
Um, so Kendrick then finally responds with his song Euphoria, which I believe the
Mhm.
cover art for Euphoria is like the definition of euphoria.
Correct. Yeah. So like the cover art of Euphoria isn't that bad. It's like once we start getting into the
Yeah.
other diss tracks where you're like, ooh. um yeah. So anyway.
So in Euphoria, he basically just criticizes Drake's parenting. He's like, I raised my son, you don't. But you should teach him morals, integrity, and discipline. Um, he he also just like at some point just goes in. He's like, I hate everything about you. Like, I hate the way you talk. I hate the way you dress. I hate the way you walk. I hate everything about
Oh yeah.
you. It's very funny. He also
Uh
goes in on Drake. He's like, I don't even like the way you say the N word. Like, I don't think you should say it because it just doesn't sound right coming out of your mouth.
I okay, honest hour. I was getting on Twitter because I kept listening to Kendrick's song and I was like, he says the N word weird. So I just looked up Drake or no, I wasn't even looking up Drake. I think it was just on my feed. You know how Twitter is.
Oh,
They're just like there for no reason. Anyway, the way he does say it is a little crazy. A little crazy. And it's not even like a twang or anything. It's the way he says it. Like like close to like the whole thing
it's close
is
to
what
a
I'm
hard
saying.
R.
Correct, and I was like, "Whoa. So I just think that that's funny the way that he brings all that shit up. Um, let's see, I'm trying to think of anything else in that song that was, oh, I'd rather do that than let a Canadian blank make Pac turn in his grave, so
Yeah.
he turned right back around on him on the Tupac thing.
He
Um,
also
let's
basically like
see.
warns him, like, he's like, we could just like stop here. Like, it doesn't even have to like go that far. I think that's this one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um
it's just it's
Honestly, Euphoria
it's
is one of my
crazy.
favorite in this batch of songs we've got here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think, is this the song where he talks about oh, here we go. This is my favorite lyric of this song. When I see you stand by sexy red, I
Oh yeah.
believe you see two bad bitches. 8.
No
8. And I
crumbs.
love Sexy Red, don't get me wrong, but, like,
Right. Shout out
8.
Sexy
That
Red.
is
Yeah.
so funny. I'm so sorry. I don't know if that's cancelable. It's funny as fuck, and I stand on that. Um, it's just
And honestly, shout
oh,
out to Sexy Red for getting a shout out in all of this. And I feel like that's
yeah,
one of
for
the
real.
most
Yeah.
iconic lines.
Yeah, I mean, at least she's still winning, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't matter.
This isn't about her. It's about him.
So, Yeah, I mean, there was just a couple lyrics in there that I really did like. I do like the beat of it, I will say. I do like it then a little bit more than the other album we're gonna get to. But I think that other album is more just like talking
Yeah, yeah,
rap more than like this one actually kind of has a beat to it. But
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So then Kendrick releases 616 in LA, which Drake has songs called 9 a.m. in Dallas, 4 p.m. in Calabasas, 6 p.m. in New York. This is the song that is produced by Jack Antonoff, which is Taylor Swift's producer. Famously, so kind of another jab at like, yeah, I do work with Jack Antonoff and like, you know.
Right. Ooh, can I backtrack for 1 second? I'm
Sure.
so
Yeah.
sorry. Another part of Euphoria that I loved, which obviously we don't know if it's true or not, but in Euphoria, Kendrick claimed kinda that, Drake's abs were fake, that they
Oh,
are
oh, yeah, okay.
cosmetic abs.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah.
And the fact that, he might have gotten a BBL. So he basically just outed him and was like, "Bro, we know these abs are fake.
Yeah.
We know that somebody fucking biochemically engineered those onto your body.
Yeah,
Like,
which
stop
that has been
playing."
a rumor for years that
Right.
that Drake got abs. In the song he's also like, you should have Adonis do some push-ups so he doesn't have to get fake abs like you, and also you're on
Oh, yeah, like
Ozempic.
yeah. Yeah, he's like, well, uh, just annihilates him, honestly, left and right, but it just keeps getting worse, let's be honest.
Yes. Um Also, okay, so back to 616 in LA. Basically, you might have to come in with some more stuff, but basically, I think the gist of that song was mostly that Drake has his record label OVO. He's like basically like, you have a rat in your camp. That's how everybody's getting all this
Yeah.
information. So I don't know, check yourself.
Yeah, I believe I believe that in the yeah, there wasn't, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, there wasn't much on that album or that diss track that I, like, was pulling pieces out of. It was just kind of like a, I don't know, just like a normal one, I guess you could say. It wasn't that crazy, but yeah, he did try to, like, basically spit out, like, "Someone's working underneath you, bitch, and, they are letting everyone know your secrets but you," so
Right.
I don't know. It's questionable whether he actually has people working for him that are giving away his secrets, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but then I guess we can move on to the next diss
Yeah,
track.
so then Drake dropped Family Matters the same day that
No.
Kendrick dropped 616 in LA. It's a pretty long song. His bombshells of that one are basically like that Kendrick has a kid with his, I think, fiance, girlfriend, I don't know, Whitney.
Right.
But he was like, I don't think the baby's yours. I think
Mhm.
he's your manager, Dave Freeze. Also, he
Mhm.
alleged that Kendrick beats Whitney. Um,
Right.
and then at one point he's like, or is it like self defense? Basically, because he's so little and short. Um,
Ugh, and he has nothing else. Like, he when you keep coming for that man's height,
I
first of
know,
all, we love short kings, and second of all, you're, like, grabbing straws at this point. You know how much it looks like you're grasping for air at this point?
right,
It's really sad, because he pretty much annihilated you with the first 2 diss tracks, so, like,
right. Why don't you
I
just go ahead
wouldn't
and
keep
stop?
going, Aubrey.
Right.
Yeah. Stop it.
He
But
also says that Kendrick was the one that told Tupac's estate about the AI generated um verse, which I'm like, okay, so what if he did? Like, you're the one that still looks goofy. Like, you still had to take it
also
down.
Also, you're literally beefing with another rapper right now that millions of people are listening to. It's gonna get the fuck around,
Right, right,
obviously.
right.
Like, this isn't two beefs between two fucking SoundCloud rappers, like, we're talking about two multi-millionaires right now. Of course they're
Right,
gonna fucking find out. The
right.
fuck? Like, I don't
Like,
get
yeah,
that.
they were gonna find out
Um,
either way, so, like, I don't know.
I mean, whether he sent him a text or not, I feel like it still would've got out in the open
Yeah,
regardless,
I
so
think they woulda heard
ugh,
about it.
right,
So then he also gets another jab in at the weekend, and Rick Ross saying that
right.
they use Ozempic, or saying that Ozempic gave him a side effect of jealousy. So he said that Rick Ross is also Ozempic.
Can we stop with the Ozempic shit? I mean, goddamn. Like, also, once again, grandmas and Ozempic are like a huge topic today on the
Yeah,
podcast.
this episode is gonna be
Uh,
called "Are You on Ozempic?"
for real. That's kind of good. Uh, so anyway, I feel like I had a thought there, but I'm over it. Anyway, Ozempic. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
Uh,
Drake, more of the same, blah blah blah.
right.
So then, less than an hour later, I think it was like 37
30
minutes later,
minutes. Yeah.
Kendrick really goes in and he releases Meet the Grams, which, like you
Right.
were saying earlier, not a bop, kind of more of just like him talking over a track, which was like an interesting
Yes.
choice. But boy, did he drop some bombs. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Well, and
oh, go ahead.
do are you gonna are we gonna like kind of uncover the cover photo
Oh, you go for
in
it. Yeah,
this
go for
or
it.
so in the cover photo, okay, so on one of his albums was just a close-up picture of a glove, and people were like, "What the fuck is that fucking glove?" It's just a black glove, nothing crazy about it, right? Well, then on when he drops Meet the Grams, you can tell that it was a picture of the zoomed in portion of a whole picture. And according to some sources, this is allegedly, that is Drake's items. Okay. So we're talking his shirt, his gloves, his prescriptions that say his name on it,
For Ozempic?
receipt. And then there's a fucking Ozempic with a real pharmacy, so it's not fake, it's a real pharmacy with his name on it. So it clearly indicates, and I believe he says it again in the song, he's like, "Bitch, you have people working for you that are giving your secrets away. No, but you are not safe here." You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
there are people ratting you out left and fucking right. Like, you have ops in your own castle, bruv.
I did see a funny tweet, which the tweets for all of this impeccable. Great work, everybody. There's one like
Right,
everybody at OVO is getting lie detected tomorrow or Monday morning.
right. And then I guess before we get into Meet the Crims real quick, can we just talk about how sassy Metro Boomin is being on Twitter?
I love it.
He it's kind of good. He does not fuck with Drake at all. Not to mention, I believe he made a diss track with like no lyrics so that people could make their own diss tracks of Drake.
Yeah, so and then
That's
he's having a
insane.
contest and the winner gets a beat from Metro Boomin. He will give them a free beat.
Not him raffling off beats to fucking completely shit on this man. One of my favorite tweets that he posted was he posted a picture of Drake. And obviously, I feel like the ongoing joke about Drake is he's a little zesty, like he's baby girl. You know, Drake
Yep,
is very baby
yep,
girl in
yep.
the industry, I will say. And Metro Boomin says, "This shit's so easy because all I gotta do is post shit that you already put out." Hashtag zesty man. And it's just a picture of Drake like doing the kind of like cute little girl pose like in the mirror. Um, I just like he and not to mention, I mean, this isn't the only one. I think he posted like over 30 plus tweets like in an hour. Like he was
Yeah,
fucking oh,
he was on one.
he hates Drake at this point. But anyway, okay, Meet the Grams. We're good.
Meet the Grams. Boy, this one
Yeah,
was a doozy. So
right.
basically, this song has four parts to it. He starts he starts this song saying, "Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man
Oh,
is your father." And so you know what
tough,
you're in for. And then he's like,
tough.
"I wish your grandpa would have worn a condom." Um, his dad so basically Drake's dad, Dennis, he wished that he would have worn a
Yeah,
condom.
and I will say he addresses every family
Mhm.
member
Yep.
on this diss
Yep.
track, so
Yep.
it's just crazy. Okay,
Um,
anyway.
so he also says, like, "You're nothing like him. You'll carry yourself as a king. Can't
Right.
understand me
Yeah,
right now. Just play this when you're 18." He
right.
he also makes reference, like, if somebody pees on you, you either have to die or kill that person, and that is in reference to, I think it was like 2015ish. I don't know, a very long time ago. Um, him and Ti, I believe, were hanging out, and one of Ti's friends peed on Drake allegedly. Um,
Yes, I believe so,
and
yeah.
apparently Drake's response was not, you know, not as upset as one might think you
Like,
would be if you were peed on.
pissy about it. Right. Yeah, and I will say once again, we're getting into the fucking Ozempic. He said, "Don't cut them corners like your daddy did. Fuck what Ozempic did. Don't pay to play with them Brazilians. Get a gym membership." I just it's just and I do believe he also talks about him gambling because obviously he's been huge on I want to say Kick right now, doing these like gambling streams. Everyone knows like I need a max win,
Yeah.
whatever. So I think he bashes him there as well. Anyway, back to you.
He
Sorry.
definitely does go into the gambling. So he finishes his verse to Adonis. Then he raps to his mother. He says, "Dear Sandra,
Yeah.
your son got some habits. I hope you don't undermine them." And basically he's just like, your son's not shit,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. I mean, basically, he's saying like you as a woman like don't agree with what he's doing,
Right.
right?
Like he
Like
doesn't
you don't,
respect women.
you
He
know.
hates women. Um,
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Dear Dennis, you gave birth to a master manipulator." And then he's basically like, "You're only here for the money, like whatever." He's basically like, "You guys raised a horrible person." Um, he's again a piece of shit. So,
Yeah. Um.
and then the biggest bombshell of the song starts off with "Dear Baby Girl." And he
Oh God.
alleged that Drake has an 11-year-old daughter. Um, and he's like, "I want to tell you that you're loved, you're brave, you're kind, you got a gift to change the world and could have changed your father's mind." Again, saying that he hates women. And he
Yeah.
could have been. But then he's basically like, "I mean, honestly, you're better off with him not in your life because he's a terrible person." Um,
Right.
so everybody's like, "What?
Which
He's got a daughter?"
yeah, I mean, which obviously took the world by surprise, right? Because if I remember right, isn't Pusha T the one that kind of outed Drake
Yep.
for having a son in the first place?
Yep.
So at this point, at this point, K Dot literally said, and if you can't see me, I'm on audio. It's holding two fucking flips on it. And he goes, "Well, guess what, bitch? Now they know you have another fucking kid." And whether that's true or not, obviously we don't know. Nothing has came out in the limelight with it, but it's just insane the fact that he has so many ops.
It's
And like, how
wild.
the fuck do you know this? How the fuck do you know this? Who knows
Well,
this?
we'll get into that allegedly later.
Right, right,
So yeah, everybody was very shook by this song. By this point, they're like, "Well, Drake just has to like die at this point." Like,
right.
I think
I
what
think
was
there's no coming back from this.
trending in the US was "He's already dead." Kendrick, please. He dropped again. Um and then by
I kept
this by this point
I
everybody
I
was
was
like, "Okay, J. Cole, you." Good for you. You way to bow out of that. You did the right thing.
Yeah, he really got himself out of that. I will say there was super funny comments, like, every time I got on Twitter, somebody was always coming because there's, like, an iconic video, but it's like, they're like, "Drake, get up! Drake, get up! Drake, get up! Get up! Come on, get up!" Uh, just because, like, honestly, he's just so fucking cooked.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say that the last line of Meet the Grams honestly hit really hard, I will say. So I'm going to be intrigued if there's another diss track, but his last line is "fuck a rap battle. This is a long life battle with yourself." And I just like that was a pretty good way to fucking end it if you ask me.
Well,
Um so
then later, Kendrick released Not Like Us, um, which was basically, what Meet the Grams was, but with a
right.
club beat. And everybody, there was a great tweet. My favorite tweet, I think, was Ira Madsen. He was like, Kendrick heard y'all wanted one for the club, so he got mustard on the beat, ho, because it's a mustard beat. Pretty
Dead.
good. Again, just more of the same. That he has inappropriate relationships with minors. I
Correct.
think he
Did he
compares
ever
him
call
to
out
Epstein, or was that in Meet the
I d-
Grams?
uh I think that was in Meet the Grams that he basically said him and Epstein need to
A
share,
cell.
or Weinstein, I'm sorry, Harvey
Weinstein.
Weinstein,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
who was also notorious and a fucking gross bitch, but, yeah, it was Weinstein they needed to share a cell with.
Yeah.
I will say, so the cover photo of this one is so allegedly obviously this one's more about, like, A minor,
Yeah.
if you guys haven't listened to it. I think I struck a chord A minor, something like that. But basically his cover photo is basically indicating it looks like a Google Maps, but it
Oh,
looks like
yeah.
a sexual predator map. And it looks like maybe there's like 14 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Apparently there's 14 sexual predators, and that could mean anything. That could mean around him, living with him in his circle, this and this. I don't fucking know. But apparently, supposedly that's what it's supposed to mean, but obviously we're not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, again, it's
shit.
more the same. Drake is allegedly into the young girls. Except on a club beat
Mm.
so that we could all sing it. It's got catchy hooks like "OV Ho." You know, people people loved it. You could actually play this one at a club instead of, you can't really play Meet the Grams at your local pub.
Everybody's whipping. They're like A minor, A minor.
Yeah, and A minor
Yeah,
was trending on Twitter. And they're like, it's literally in A minor, like the key A minor.
yeah.
I also thought it was funny that Merriam-Webster, like the dictionary, tweeted "diss" noun, an insult, expression of disrespect or criticism, in response to all this. So I thought it was fun for Merriam-Webster to get in on this.
Yeah.
Um, so the latest to this saga for now is Drake finally, which we all thought he was not going to come back from that. Like, what after Meet the Grams, how do you come back from that?
Right. You just gonna call him short again? I mean,
Right.
shit. Come on now. Get up.
So Drake finally released his reply called The Heart Part 6, which Kendrick has a song called The Heart Part 5. Came out on Cinco de Mayo.
Right.
Um he says the Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling, in reference to Kendrick, who has a Pulitzer Prize for music, and he's the first rapper to do
Mhm.
so. Um, the cover art is a comment from Dave Freed who again Drake thinks is the actual father of his fiance's baby.
Mhm.
Um, he also says in the song, like, "Oh, you took the bait. Like, I had my team put out that I had an 11-year-old daughter because I knew you would take the bait, and you did." Um, he also
Ah, ha, 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 ha.
he, like, also goes in about how, like, he doesn't like minors, and he's too famous. Like, if he did mess around with minors, like, he would like, people would know about it because he's so famous, and I was like, "That's
Oh my
not how it works." I
god.
think that's, like, the opposite of how it works, actually. I think
Also, don't say that.
yeah, yeah, right? Like, I think you're doing too much. I think you're telling on yourself.
Yeah, because if I did like children, you'd know,
Right,
because I'm rich. Also, I believe there's, like, a viral video of him, like, kissing, like, a 17-year-old or something at one of his concerts, like, a really long time ago.
yeah, and she
Um,
came out and she was like, "It was fine, it was innocent," and I'm like, "I don't that's not
yeah,
really the
but she's still a
point."
minor.
Yeah.
Still a
Not
minor.
the
Still
point, girly.
a minor.
He
A minor.
he also
Sorry.
goes in and says that he doesn't like Millie Bobby Brown's, he likes Whitney's. Again, Whitney is Kendrick's fiance. Um,
Oh,
he also
ugh.
talks about um he goes in on Kendrick's song "Mother I Sob," and he's basically like he says, "Wait a second, that's the one record where you say you got molested. I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This trauma's for your own confessions." And, like, he also says something like he probably gets triggered when he hears "Touch My Body" by Mariah Carey, I
Oh!
think. I'm also I don't think that song is about him being molested. I think it's, like, about other family trauma. And I'm like, "Why are you bringing this up?" Also, like, you're getting, like, real
Yeah,
weird about this. Um,
yeah.
and then at the end, he basically just talks and he's like, "Well, I'm glad I could get you writing again because your fans probably wanted to hear your music." Blah, blah, blah. It's not very good. Drake lost.
Yeah.
Drake, give it up.
Well, I'm like, I just hope this doesn't end up being like a Lord of the Rings where there's like 18,000 fucking diss tracks. Like, imagine we're in 2025 and
Still getting
they're
diss
like,
tracks.
so diss track number 87 on Kendrick's side. It's just like, okay, drop it. I think Kendrick's probably gonna come out with one more just to fucking kill him, and then after that, I don't think he'll fuck with it anymore.
I agree if he does that. Honestly, I think it would okay, so I was talking about this with Haley. She was like, "All this makes me think of that time Soldier Boy went on that radio station." He was like, "Drake?" And I was like, "How iconic would it be if he either one got Soldier Boy on a track or if
That'd
he
be
just
kind of
like
good.
sampled that little Drake?" That would be good. I would love that. That'd be iconic.
Yeah, I think maybe Kendrick's maybe got one more roast in him, but it has to be better than oh my face. I'm sorry. It has to be better than Meet the Grams. And I don't think he can top that. I mean, he probably can,
Yeah.
but that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough because he basically played Dollhouse with his fucking family in that diss track. And now what? What are you gonna say now? Which I'm sure he has a lot more to say, but like we need it to be like ooh, get up. Actually, stay down. Stay down.
Right, I
Duck and
feel like,
cover.
obviously, Kendrick doesn't have to release anymore, like, he's obviously
No.
won, like, I mean, Drake so clearly lost. Anybody that thinks Drake won, I don't know what to tell you because he did not.
I mean, I think maybe it would be iconic if he just like released like a 4-second video of him
Just
just like
laughing.
just being like shut the fuck up. Yeah, just like something like that, like that's his part. Just something super short, be like who gives a fuck? I don't know. But we shall See.
We
Anyway,
shall.
all right.
Yeah. Okay. It's
All
also like
right.
10:30, so again, that's all we got for now. If there's something that comes up over the weekend, we'll update you. But like we said, we hope this is kind of over, honestly.
Yeah,
Because Kendrick
hopefully.
won. If you disagree, please
Yep.
let us know in the comments so we could tell you you're wrong. But we love you for listening.
And if not, I guess we'll talk to you about it next week.
Yeah. So rate us 5 stars and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and our socials will be in the episode description.
As always,
Do better.
do better. And we'll see you guys next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.